Hello to the regular visitors of the channel, and a special welcome and invite to the new visitors to subscribe. Now you can connect your head unit back here, but I recommend you to do first a test of all the speakers. I mean, you have to connect the unit, of course, but before putting everything in and all the plastics and trims we just removed, it is better to test everything just in case there's any problem with any speaker that you don't get sound from them. You can check and you don't have to put apart all what you just did before. So do that test before. If you're wondering here what it is required to install this kind of head unit with a big screen, there's only two modifications you need to do. If you see, this is a single DIN unit, but the opening here in the frame is larger, so it kind of floats in there. What actually holds the radio in place is the screen. It will sit in top of the HVAC unit, and that's what will make it I mean, it sits in there. What makes it stable is the wiring on the back. But actually I made these plates which are not indicated in any forums. This was DIY I did for this particular unit, which will make the unit more stable. When you fit in there, those little wings will just keep it in place straight when you have it there. The two modifications required for installing this kind of unit are, let me show you. Okay, this is the first one. These little things where in here they are the mounts for the original radio, and the Metro adapter for single DIN radios as well will sit in here. You'll have to remove this. There are two of them, one in this side and one in the other side. The problem with these mounts is that they have rivets, and they are very hard to remove because there's no easy access for tools here. A bar where you can just eliminate the rivet is not that easy, so you have to work your way with big pliers and doing lever with screwdrivers or whatever you have at your hand. So that's the difficult part. After that, you'll have to cut in here. This is the trim, the cover in the front. Below, in these little wings up here, you will have to cut a little here and here, because the screen of the radio will just go until this part, so you have to make room for the screen in there, otherwise the trim will keep lifted in here. Actually, these upper wings, they broke, you know, just pulling these in and out, so I'll have to fix them before definitely putting this back on. Here's everything temporarily connected to check for amplifier power, signal to the all four speakers and tweeters, and the subwoofer. Now check this out. As you remember, the trunk of this car has a depression, and there should be a cover on top of this depression so you can store cargo in there. But the old cover is all damaged and is bent, and all the wood here it's too old. So I just made, luckily, with a carpentry, a new cover which has new carpet, of course, new wood, the same aluminum support for this flap. And as you might notice, there is holes in here. This is for ventilation, as the amplifier will be below this. I also made with them the subwoofer box right here. Very nice finishings with the port and everything. The connections for the cables. All the dimensions were obtained directly from the manual of the Kappa subwoofer, and of course taking into account the trunk space, so this will fit with the correct dimensions for the proper tuning. And also they made me this little plate with another finishing kind. This is like leather imitation, and this will be the mounting base for the amplifier right here. So the purpose or the idea of this is to attach the amplifier here with some with screws, with the supplied screws, and actually they have even some separators, because this particular amplifier, it has a fan below, so it cannot be sitting on the surface flush. It has to be rising a little bit. So as I was telling you, the idea is to put it here on this surface, and then this surface will be into the depression right here. It will be attached with Velcro, the ones that you see here. I will put it them in case you need to take it out. It can be easily removed. And also I will use some cable organizer to wire everything to the amplifier so it looks nice. The remote knob for the subwoofer doesn't have any kind of mount, so I will adapt this little plate in here with screws and attach it underneath the steering wheel. Now with the MVX amplifier already mounted in the wood surface I showed you before, and with the separators here so the fan can evacuate the heat of the unit. I was looking for a solution for the cable organizing, and I came up with these plastic ducts for wires. So what I will do is to arrange something like this. Okay, so it will look something like this, and the idea is to paint this in black color so it looks much better in combination with the color of the amplifier. I have also made holes here so the wires can come out directly from the duct into the connectors, this side as well. Unfortunately, the power and ground wire are too thick for this. Even if I got a thicker one, it won't fit here because there's not enough space for all the cables in here, so they will have to be above here. Now if you see, all the wires are organized with the correct length, all the connectors, and they are correctly labeled with a nice label. They are also crimped with the ferrules, the RCA connectors, and on the other side the power and ground wires right here with the ferrule, which will be crimped once screwed in the amplifier. And I have the amplifier in this position so I can adjust all the gains when connected. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. Now let me show you the final result on the trunk. This is how everything looks. That's the new cover with the ventilation holes for the amplifier and the subwoofer box. There's the cable for the subwoofer box. Now let's open the cover. Just push the box. I just push the subwoofer box a little bit in. I release the flap, remove the cover, and there's the amplifier all wired up in place. It is held there by the Velcro straps I showed you earlier. Cables inside the carpet, and that one in there is the subwoofer cable. There's even a cool light in the amplifier logo. As I cannot use this partition any longer because of the subwoofer box, I made these templates from the partition, and they will be covering this side of the subwoofer box. Let me show you inside. So on the inside there's the side partitions and the subwoofer box in the middle, and I still have all the cargo area in here. Of course, in the rear part the box is all the way behind, so there's reduced cargo area in here. But the benefit of this configuration is that I can just move the subwoofer box into the front of the car if I need the trunk space for any cargo. And the subwoofer box will just be protruding here a little bit, but is not big deal. Finally, after all the efforts made here, it's time to check how the new system sounds. I will use the same microphone. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to get the real thing that is happening here. This microphone definitely is not able to catch the low frequencies as good as, I don't know, a professional microphone. Still, let's check with the same track that we checked before with the previous sound system to possibly make a comparison.
This is Colin. I won't be able to get in and on. I'm sure.
Well, the difference is really big in comparison to the previous system. I'm pretty happy with the results. I have already messed a little with the equalization and the gains on the amplifier, but so far it is looking so good.